Hi, I'm Betty. Welcome to Betty's Kitchen. Today we're making blueberry muffins. Blueberries are coming in season here and they're inexpensive at the grocery store for the first week, so I decided that it would be a good time to have blueberry muffins. We're starting out with one well-beaten egg, so I just used a mixer to take care of that, and I think I'm through with that. So I'm going to get it out of the way. It takes up a lot of space. I'm going to be adding some sugar, 1/2 cup. This is just regular granulated sugar. I need 1/2 cup of sugar. And let's get this going. And our eggs. Next thing I have here is some oil. You can use any kind of vegetable oil that you like. I've chosen canola oil. There are some nice blended oils if you like that. You can use peanut oil, Western oil, whatever you like. But we need 1/2 cup. So I've measured out 1/2 cup of oil. And then milk. I have measured, let's see, what was it here? It was 2/3 cup of milk, and I chose skim milk. And let's move this down a little bit. Next thing is some flour. We need 2 cups of flour. This is a doughy sort of thing, so we're going to be adding it in. I think I'll just kind of swirl this around a little bit to get it blended well before I start putting that in. And I might as well put my spice and my flavoring in. I do have some cinnamon here. This is 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, so that goes in. Nice flavor. And then we have 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, so I'm putting that in. And that brings us to our flour. So after I get this swirled around a little bit, then I'll be putting the flour in. So here we go. This is the kind of thing you might want to put just a little at a time. So let me swap hands here. I'm right-handed. And just pour a little bit and stir. Continue to pour a little bit and stir. Just makes it easier to get it mixed up. If you put it all in at once, then you may have a lot of clumping and it may be difficult to get it to combine well. If you have any problem with lumps, then bring that electric mixer back and just blend it with an electric mixer, and that certainly will remove all of your lumps. But I think we're going to be fine here. Except maybe my clothes. I never used an apron, as you can tell, so I should be a little more careful when I have a lot of floury things that I'm working with. You really don't want to over blend this. That's just kind of a rule for biscuits and muffins and cornbread and corn sticks, all of those kind of things. So it's not terrible if you leave some lumps in. It is worse to overblend. If you start just beating this, it will not be the consistency that was intended originally. So this is pretty much what you're going to want it to look like when you put your blueberries in. So let's put some blueberries in. I have them measured over here. They're nice and fresh, and I have 1 cup. And I've washed them. Now you can make large muffins if you want to. Actually, I have a muffin tin over here that if you don't need too many of them and you want to make them large, then you would have to increase your cooking time as compared to what we're going to do. We're going to use just a standard size muffin tin, and I've already sprayed this with canola oil. It needs to be well greased, so the canola oil spray will be fine for the preparation of the pan. If you don't like to use that oil, and if you worry about it sticking or the muffin sticking, you can use this approach, which is to use baking cups, and they're just little thin pieces of paper that you use to line your baking tin. So let's go with this one. Now, I do have a tip that you'll find in Betty's Kitchen about filling all of these to the same level. We'd like to have these 3/4 of the way full, and I've already tested these muffin tins to see how much that is, and it's just between 1 and 2 ounces. Using this measuring cup, you can see, well, you probably can't see, but there's 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 3 ounce, 4 ounces. It comes up to a half cup. So it's just halfway in between 1 and 2 ounces, fills this to 3/4 of the way full. So I'm going to spoon some muffin mix in here and kind of watch it go down. And then let me press it a little bit. And this is if you have the time to spend on doing that. And I have it now at the level that I want. And I just bring that out and place it in one of these available spaces. Doing it slow and easy like this ensures that they will all be at the same level. And also it keeps you from dripping this batter all over the place, because this is a very controlled movement. There's no need to be using a spoon that is dripping, because this is not a really drippy type of thing anyway. So at about this point, I would say it's 3/4 of the way full. Now if there are berries together like that, I would separate them and maybe poke them under just a little bit. That's good for that one. So let me go away and fill this muffin tin, and I should have 12 of them ready in this tin, and then we'll be baking them in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. So I'll be back in a few minutes to continue the recipe. You can see my muffin tin of 12 is all filled. I filled these, I used my method of the quick dip, showing you how to make them all equal for a couple, and then I used just my natural instinct for filling the rest. If you've done this for a long time, you're pretty good at knowing where 3/4 of a cup is and when to stop. So I'm not telling you you have to use my quick tip just because I put it on the internet. I had enough to make 3 extra ones, and I put them in the baking cups just to show you what those look like in comparison to the others. So these all go into the oven at the same time, 400 degrees for about 20 minutes, and then I'll show you what the cooked muffins look like. Blueberry muffins are done. They have cooked 18 minutes. And I can see that they're browning up to the point where I don't want to leave them any longer. And they're splitting across the top, which tells me that they're done. So I'm bringing out the pan of 12, which have no liners. And then I have the ones with the baking liners. There were only 3 of those. And you can see that they have a little bit different shape. It just depends on what kind of pan you put them in. Let me see if I can get a couple of these out. Now with that spray, they should come out very easily. So I've got a plate here, a small serving plate. Let's take that first one. And these are hot. If you let them cool down, they'll be a little easier to take care of in terms of coming out and handling them. There's one serving, and then these 2 will be very easy to get out, here and here. And just to show you how I might serve them, either the 2 without the liners, and then a nice fresh cup of coffee. And here I have a little butter pat, which is that little plate, and some butter. So you can just take a knife. This is not a very fancy knife, but you can just cut into one of these. See the texture? And see the color inside? Take some of your butter and put it in there. Let it melt just a little bit, That's going to be such a scrumptious bite.